It is July 15th, 2025. I am the coach. This is BTT Studios. This is Coaching Company, the podcast. We try to do it every single weekday, as many days as we can to support the morning show. If you missed it today, what an absolute disaster, which made the show great. If you didn't catch any of it on the Stadium Network, you can always catch it on demand on our YouTube page. I encourage you also, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube page yet, please do. We're getting very, very close. We have obviously a big BTT YouTube page. This one we just started a couple of months ago, but because of all of you, we are growing quickly, and we want to get to that milestone that allows us to do more because YouTube has rules. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. This is normally the day of the year where every show is off. Every show doesn't do it. And what we've decided to do at Coaching Company is not do weekends in the off season. We've learned the last couple of years to play the hits and when to do shows and when to not waste the energy. So it doesn't feel as bad as some shows that try to do 7 days a week. And on weeks like this, it just doesn't matter. And today, when you're looking at all the different topics, and in the old days, there was nothing else. Now, with so many things going on, the WNBA, we're getting ready for the Open Championship, the next and final major on the PGA Tour. You've got soccer, Champions League qualifying, a sport that never stops around the world. So we talk about a lot of it, and we focus on a lot of it here at the brand. But today is really all about the All-Star game. And sometimes when I get to this day every year, especially as I start to get a little bit older, I reflect a lot. I get in my feelings a lot because growing up in Kansas, we didn't even have cable television. Sound like I'm, grew up in the Stone Ages until I was 10 or 11, probably. And so one of the few things we got every year, because I used to love the Kansas City Royals games. We grew up in the middle of Kansas. You'd get maybe 10 to 15 games a year on the local channel. And then you'd get the All-Star game. And when Bo Jackson was an all-star for my Kansas City Royals, it was an amazing, amazing time. For them to get him in that city, for all of us, because to me, there's no better fans than fans of a city and of a team that does not have anything else around. Green Bay, there's a reason they are super popular. Nothing else around. In Kansas City, we only have the Chiefs and the Royals. There's no NBA. You've got Kansas, which is about 45 minutes away. But the Royals in the summertime, that is a vacation for a lot of people. So Bo Jackson, the classic running up the wall and back down, leaving the cleat marks in the wall. And then Bo Jackson with that classic home run in the All-Star game, because he was the absolute freak of athletes back in the day. So many of you that watch and listen are much younger than 50 or 60 years old, or even 40 years old, like where I'm at. But you never got to see the greatness. And just like bands, people say, oh, the 90s was the best. Well, there's a reason why certain time periods were the best. To me, there's a lot of reasons that baseball or other organizations, or sports rather, are not as popular, at least to me. And it's because of social media. It's because there's a million other things to do. It's because Gen Z, the adults, the 18 to 34 that are coming up right now, are not as interested. They might be interested in sports betting, but they're not as interested in the actual sports. A Bo Jackson would not have probably been as big of a star today as he was back in the day, because he had so much. There was so much of a mystique around Bo Jackson. He didn't speak very well. He had a stutter or a lisp, so he hated doing interviews back in the day. One of the nicest human beings that I've ever been around. And coming up this fall, I was just on the phone the other day with Brett Saberhagen, who's the Cy Young Award winner for the Royals. He's become a friend. I host his charity event every single fall, which is out here in wine country. And they have an honoree every year, because the charity is focused on families of people who have cancer. Because so many times, like in our family, my dad had a heart transplant 7 years ago. And the expense, even though insurance covers the surgeries, just like in cancer, the expense to the families is immense, My mom had to stay in Kansas City, which is 3 hours from our home in Kansas, for over 3 months. So that's an Airbnb, it's food, it's gas, it's all of that kind of stuff. And a lot of people can't afford it. And so what the Saberhagens have done with Sabe's Wings, and something we're going to do this fall, and I've been wanting to do it, and it's just so much when you're building your own brand, and we only have a few hands here. But man, we're growing a lot faster than we thought. And there's a lot of you out there that would love to support not just us, but a really worthwhile charity. And the reason I bring that up is because this year, the honoree last year was Toby Keith. 2 years ago was Toby Keith, right before he passed away. Um, and it really kind of hit me that I've been very blessed with good health. My family blessed with good health. My dad's still alive after the heart transplant, 7 years. That's quite a blessing. But you start to look at mortality a little bit more when you get into your 40s and then into your 50s, and things just mean a little bit more, or a lot more in my case. And so Bo Jackson will be honored this year at the Sabe's Wings event. I can't wait to host it again. I can't wait to see him again. And it also is a way to stop and look back on your fandom. And to me, that's what the All-Star game means. It means stopping, just like they do for the All-Star break, and looking back at something that means something to you. Baseball, because of where I grew up, was everything. I played pretty high level high school ball. I had friends that went to Wichita State, which back in the day was a top 5 program. I love baseball. I played basketball in college, but I love baseball. And so when you get to the All-Star break now, I look back at a lot more things. And a lot more things mean something to me. What about you? What means something to you? Because one of the things that we're building this brand on is to be as inclusive as possible, to have as many sports fans as possible be a part of what we're doing. Because one of my favorite things to do is sit around and play a house poker game and just shoot the shit with my buddies, or going on a quick 2 or 3 day trip, playing some golf and shooting the shit with my buddies. And I never did that. And I have not done that enough. And I'm committed as I move forward. And the nice thing is, whenever your professional life starts to coincide with what you want to do personally, and for several years, I didn't travel at all. And then now I have the PGA Tour, we have the PFL, a lot of things. So I'm traveling probably 20 to 25 times this year, which I'm super excited about. But then I can be out there and see my friends, and I can see, family. I can get to wherever I need to go. And I hope for you that you get to do the exact same thing. I also like to see history being made when I see a first. Well, tonight at the All-Star game, this has kind of mushroomed into a big story. There is a young kid who has pitched in all of 5 games. But as Peyton told us on the morning show, he is the future. His name is Jacob Misiorowski, I believe is how you say his name. He is 4-1. He's a 23-year-old rookie. His first pitch ever in the big leagues was over 100 miles per hour. He is 4-1, 2.81 ERA. And there is reaction on both sides of the fence. On the baseball side, Trey Turner of the Phillies said it's a joke that a kid that has pitched in only 5 games would be named to the All-Star team. Now, he said we've got 2 other pitchers that they actually ask, because this is a fill-in spot. It's not like he got voted on. It's not like they put him on first. It's a fill-in spot. And so the Midsummer Classic is supposed to be entertainment. And then over the years, they've tried stuff out. They've experimented with, let's make the winner get home field throughout the World Series. They've tried a lot of things. But at its core, this is an entertainment night. If it was a full competition night, you would have the starting 9 hit 2 or 3 times, because those are the best players. Sometimes they're most popular players. Acuna, he missed the first, month and a half, 2 months of the season. The game's in Atlanta. you don't want to have this game without Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup, even though his numbers, because of injury, are not what the others are. It's entertainment. So this kid, at 23 years of age, he's 6'7". He's going to be dominant, just like Paul Skeens is dominant already. So I have no issues. It's a fill-in spot. The other people or the coaching staff, the executives that pick the fill-ins, it becomes sometimes, because I think now that it's a little bit longer, the break is 5 or 6 days instead of just 2 or 3. There's a lot of players that if you don't have an incentive in your contract financially, they're saying, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to go to the All-Star break. I need 5 days at home, or I need 5 days in Puerto Rico, or I need 5 days in Jamaica, something. But I don't think with these players today that making the All-Star game, unless you're making extra money, is as big of a deal as it used to be. I also don't like the fact they still have that stupid rule, at least I think they do, where at least one player from each team gets named to the All-Star team. It's not Little League. It's not American Legion ball. This is the big leagues. It should be the top 28 or 30 players, whatever the number is, to make the All-Star team so you have the best game possible. But that's not a deal breaker for me. This tonight, when this kid comes on the mound, and you have to pitch him tonight. You can't have all of this turmoil and not have him play tonight and not have him pitch tonight. He has to. So that inevitably, because that's what fans do, and that's what a lot of the members of the media who are not trained, who do not have the background, that get a credential because you play or you write for, baseball100.net. They want headlines that get people to click on them, because most writers, because I deal with this on the daily, the whole business has changed. So a lot of times when you get hired to write for a website, you get sorry, I just had a text come in about a guest today on my afternoon Sirius XM show, 2 to 4, off the ropes. I completely just lost my train of thought. But the bottom line is this: tonight, when you're talking about the All-Star game and everything that you put into it, to me as a fan, I want to be as entertained as possible. Are we going to be tonight? Well, you got Paul Skeens and you got Scooble. Arguably, the two most dominant pitchers in baseball will start the game tonight. And that is super, super, super cool. Now, there are other baseball news out there. It's shocking to me how much certain people are paying for teams. And I said on the morning show that it feels like supply and demand. There's a lot of wealthy people out there that want to own some type of a sports team. If I was super wealthy and I had a couple of billion laying around, that's exactly what I would do. But now, only having a couple billion, that won't even get you in the door unless you're in Major League Baseball, because the Rays are going to sell for $1.7 billion. What makes this so shocking is that this is a team that right now is not even playing in their home stadium because they had some issues with it. They're fixing it, but they plan on moving back into their home next year, which still, even when they played there, they rarely got over 10,000 people. And now this is worth almost $2 billion. It wasn't that long ago that the LA Clippers sold for $2 billion. It's crazy to me, the prices that are happening, because a lot of these wealthy people, they want to own teams. And a lot of them are cool too, because in the old days, you had owners that would own these teams and they would act like this is their only source of income, when most owners, especially in the NFL, they make their money somewhere else, like Arthur Blank with Home Depot, and then he bought the Atlanta Falcons. Well, if that was the case and I had a cash register over here, I would do everything in my power to win over here. The only thing I wouldn't do is in baseball just buy a championship. But even that has proven to be a false narrative, because the LA Dodgers, who do it every single year, they have not won the last 10 World Series. They've won one. So even that is not a valid argument. But I absolutely would do everything in my power, because you're making your money over here. Why wouldn't you want to win over here? Because again, going back to what is the theme of today's show? Reflection. memories, looking at your mortality, which happens when you get into your late 40s and your early 50s. And I'm realizing too, money is important. You need it to take care of your family, to have a roof over your head. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you can't take any of it with you. And it's about the memories you make. It's about the things that you do. It's about the legacy. And I have really changed my thought process the last 18 months or so. And once I did that, it's amazing how good things start to happen. My entire thought process, me and producer man, we do everything together. We have built these shows and this brand together. And when you do that, I never had that mindset before of putting great people around you, empowering them to do their jobs and see how great they can become. Because then what happens if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 people doing that, now all of a sudden everybody's moving forward. Now everybody's doing great things. And now everybody says, you know what? He trusts me. She trusts me, whatever the case might be. And so we've been here since January. BTT's been here for a little bit over a year. And the other thing I'm realizing, just like in sports, it takes a while to build a brand uh, in a universe where there's so many other things to consume. So it means the world to me that we're doing this, but also we're focused on the world and not just the United States. Social media has made it possible if you know what you are doing and if you have the reach. And that's the one thing that I had to realize with my background in the WWE. I can't even imagine having stayed on this thought process road. I wasn't going to do any wrestling content. Didn't want to do it, didn't want to watch it, nothing. And then a good friend convinced me that I am not only leaving money on the table, but it could be a ton of fun to get back into the wrestling space. But I also had to realize at that time, and it's a fluid situation, that when I was in the WWE, we traveled all over the world. I believe at last count, I've been to well over 100 countries, at least 90 when I traveled doing wrestling. And so my name and my brand is known around the world. I don't say that as an arrogant thing. I say that as a fact thing. And sometimes when you think small, you'll be small. We think big. We think, how can we take Coaching Company? How can we take Coaching Bro? How can we take Off the Ropes? How can we take The Last Word? All of these shows that consume our days for you, how can we make them worldwide? This week, as you guys know, I have a big role in the PFL, and I have never had more fun than I'm having right now. And if you would have told me 5 years ago, when the PFL was 2 years old and they weren't much of anything, that I would have an opportunity to help grow this brand and grow this company, I would have told you, how am I going to get there? But if I would have been told what the journey was going to look like, would I have taken that option? I think about that stuff all the time. If you would have told me it's going to take these 5 rough years to get to a place that you've always wanted to be, would I have taken it? Would you have taken it? That's the beauty of not knowing what the journey is going to look like, but trusting the fact that if you have your head down and your eyes in front of you, you can do great things. And that's what today does to me. It makes me stop. It makes me think. And in life, you just want to think. So tonight, I will be watching the All-Star game. I will be probably in my feels a little bit, maybe have a cocktail or two. My sister went to school in Atlanta, so I have a great affinity for that city. And that is going to be something we enjoy. And also, do not forget WNBA tonight. Caitlin Clark will be playing at Mohegan Sun. And Mohegan Sun also has a special place in my heart, as I lived about an hour away for my entire time at ESPN. My son was born about 45 minutes from Mohegan Sun. So every time I hear Mohegan Sun, I always smile. And so it'll be cool tonight to see Caitlin Clark sold out. And Mohegan Sun is 2 hours from nowhere, as we used to say, in the middle of all these big trees. So if you're going to be in the area today, I encourage you to check it out. They have a casino. They have all kinds of stores. The vibe and the energy is going to be absolutely awesome. If you guys have any ideas for us, you can send it to me on the X. We have about 6 or 7 weeks until the start of the NFL season, and we're going to be off and rolling. and we will not stop. All right, that's going to do it for now. We never go longer than 20 or 30 minutes. Today was just about kind of reflecting. And sometimes in life, you need to do that. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the All-Star game. Do not forget, I need you to subscribe to both our BTT YouTube page and our Coach and Company YouTube page to help those pages grow. For now, happy birthday to my man, the producer man who runs all of the ones and twos here at the brand. I am the coach. We'll see you next time. There is only one Coach and Company, the podcast.